Btmc got doxxed? Wait, he got doxxed? Yeah, but it was a place he stayed at, not his actual house. Do we have any post or like tweet about it? Because even if it's a place he used to stay at, that is absolutely insane. Oh shit, his new video, I see.
He was getting in a lot of trouble because of the way he reacted to a certain score, pretty much disrespecting it, and people got mad about that because of his influence and how people will share that opinion. Now in today, people got mad about that because of his influence.
Okay, unfortunately, him getting canceled is one of the things I already know about. He was doing a bit with John Porler, where John Porler was BTMC2, and he was too committed to the bit to actually pay attention to what John Porler was reacting to, and he just generalized like a fucking historic score from Rising Top Player, and he got in heat. He got a lot of heated responses from it, and big drama for big person. But yeah, that is what I know about BTMC's cancel drama. Saying that streaming 315 BPM is normal is crazy. I'm gonna be real. I'm also kind of tone deaf on terms of the higher end of speed and that area of the skill set that is I'm not knowledgeable, so I didn't know that 315 BPM had not been better executed by a top player yet in terms of a speed score. I had no idea. I would have been none the wiser. I would have been like, oh, okay. I probably would have fallen victim to what BTMC did. Honestly, I would have done similar. So yeah, all right.
Influence and how people will share that opinion. Now in today's video, we're going to talk about how this situation got a little bit worse because of one tweet that caused something really ridiculous, and afterwards we're going to have a look over at BTMC's response and why BTMC was trying to quote-unquote get cancelled in 2025. Before we do get
I think I just spoiled this video. Oh well.
Sorry though, only a small percentage of people that watch my videos are actually subscribed, so if you want to stay updated with the latest social news that happens in the community, then consider hitting that sub button. It will really be appreciated. So on February 25th of 2020,
he should have done his research still. Yeah, but also I think like he does this whole thing with his chat where like his chat tells him what happens in Osu. So he purposefully stays ignorant until chat shows him something. That way it stays his reaction stays genuine on stream. So if you were to do research beforehand, that would completely like ruin that entire structure that he has set up for his like clip channel content and stuff. Never mind the clips channel, just his stream content in general. So yeah.
Someone by the name
he
of
doubled down. Wait, really?
This. BTMC, you can't really downplay an entire speed skill set and call it boring and unimpressive to your audience of thousands 24/7 when your speed is similar to an inbred tortoise with Down syndrome. BTMC.
Can tortoises even have Down syndrome?
Later on, when he woke up from his sleep, responded to this tweet by stating this: I never downplayed the
And why a tortoise? Why a tortoise?
Skill set. They asked for my opinion and I said my opinion. I'm an expert on my opinion. When I see speed play number 1 million, it is my opinion that the play is pretty boring. I've seen many other plays like this. It doesn't stand out to me. I'm not impressed. I do care about my progress. Speed is something I'm working to improve at, and I'm working every day to get better at it. I play for myself and celebrate my own achievements. I don't need the validation of others to be happy with my scores. I'd like to believe speed players don't need my opinion to be happy with their scores either.
Was that him doubling down? It kind of looks like it. Okay, so this kind of made me think of something, right? Because I kind of understand how he sees speed scores these days, because I was gone for like 2 years and then I came back and everyone had a wooting and everyone was shitting out like 280, 290 BPM stream scores, and I'm just like, the meta's completely changed. Jumps aren't even it anymore. What happened? The world is upside down, and so like immediately, like just like that, like I didn't get to see the growth and progression of this skill set as it developed in the community. So I ended up missing out on that. And so when I came back, it was just like, oh, okay, everything kind of looks the same when it's not the same, you know? So I get what he's saying in some of this here. I guess if I were to analogize it, it's kind of like all Demetori songs sound the same, or all songs from Dragon Force sound the same, or all songs from this artist sound the same. You know, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that, where like you have to be like, where you go through this initial phase of like, whoa, this song's cool, whoa, this song's cool, whoa, this song is cool. And then you hit a phase where it's like, okay, everything's kind of sounding the same now. Like, I can kind of predict how this part's going to sound, and now it's going to sound like this. And then you push past that phase where, like, you start being able to pick out the differences between each song, and then you start to appreciate those smaller details. Even though if you zoom out into that medium scale, everything kind of looks the same. You know? I think that's probably, like, kind of what this is. You know, with where I'm at least, speed scores look the same because I haven't really engaged in the skill set myself. If I were to truly explore that skill set, probably turn on like rapid trigger and stuff, and then I truly start pushing and shredding and tunnel visioning into the skill set, I would definitely be able to have a better appreciation of it. But I haven't done that yet, so I get what some people say when like it all looks the same. So yeah.
Their scores either. Now, there were a lot of people that absolutely disagreed with BTMC's tweet, but also there were a lot of people that agreed with him. But the worst part about this is that the situation went absolutely too far this time, because a longtime hater of BTMC for some reason decided to dox his house.
Huh?
Or at least he attempted to dox his house, because he posted the previous residence where he stayed at. Of course, here in the Stu channel, we're normal human beings and we will respect BTMC's privacy by covering the photo and also covering the username. But pretty much every single person was implying how that person is seriously weird and needs help, and also the fact that this situation went too far. The fact that someone even tried to dox BTMC over an opinion that they did not agree with is ridiculous. Especially an opinion that is about a video game of all things. If someone really annoys you that much, just block them, if anything else, because this is some next level witch hunting, if you know what I mean. Now,
bro, it is never okay to do that. Why is the internet like this, man? Why is it like this?
Later on in the day, BTMC realized that he was getting a lot of hate due to what previously happened on his stream, and of course he finally addressed the drama and made a response about it. Now, that specific segment of him responding to the drama is already uploaded on the second channel of his where he uploads clips, but it is an hour long, and I'm guessing that a lot of people don't have an hour of their time to watch the entire thing, so I am going to make a shortened version explaining what he said. Shout out to Crafty Literature 61 because they are the person that pretty much made the short version of this response. First, he goes over a bunch of Reddit comments or YouTube comments and Twitter replies of pretty much people criticizing him, and after he reads all of them, he always says something like fair or that is true to simply acknowledge the fact that all of the backlash that he has gotten is completely justified. Afterwards, he says that he should have handled the situation a bit more better, because currently the clip that is circling around the internet is missing a lot of context and it sends a message that he doesn't stand by at all. The most important context here is the fact that this was a bit of him coaching John Poro to be more like him. He was stating how when he's watching at a score, he's trying to look at who's the player that said it, what makes this play unique and so on, and he actually wasn't even looking at the play. He was caught up in this character of him coaching John Poro for the video of how to react, which is why he said stuff like that the map is easy, that anyone can do it, and so on, which was obviously wrong.
Okay, wait. Saying that the map is piss easy is like a completely different thing, though. I'm gonna be real. Saying something like that for something that for a skill set that you haven't even you haven't even engaged in. This
explains how the people that say that he is the sensitive.
But also, he was trying to like inflate his character for the bit. I get it, but also. Piss easy. It's kind of pushing it. I think it's more than pushing it.
Is that he's bored and that he's out of touch with the community are completely right. He primarily played this game for himself. He made the channel to track his own progress, and for people to come along and follow his progress is humbling for him. He also states how he quote-unquote has a selfish mindset of the fact that the only opinion that matters to him is his own opinion about his own scores, and that he hopes that other top players operate by this mindset as well. Now, he said says that he has made an extreme effort to censor himself as much as possible because he was afraid that anything that he would say would offend or upset any part of the community. And apparently it worked. He is literally friends with everyone in the community. There is rarely any person that actually hates him. As a result, he did get a larger numbers in videos. The game acknowledged him as the face of Osu, but in return he felt fake and pretty much felt like shit. Essentially, he says that he was portraying a version of himself that isn't actually him, which is why in 2025 he has decided to act more like himself, and if he is acting in a certain bad way, then he should be criticized for that and that he should deserve that, which is something that he says that cancel culture does well, and it's pretty much addressing the bad in a certain person.
But the bad thing about cancel culture is once you're canceled, you're gone. You lose your platform. Everything that you've worked hard for goes away. It's not reversible.
Better. And he was hoping for something like this to happen so that he would admit his wrongdoings and move on, and of course grow from them as a person. He also admits that in the clip itself it was a really dick move and that he was pretty much acting as an asshole, and he acknowledges that. He says how the people are 100% right, and he is completely apologizing for that, apologizing to the people who saw that clip, and apologizing to the people who saw that clip with the expectation of celebrating this achievement and ended up being belittlement to the score. He also states how he's not going to take any tweet down, he's not going to take any videos down about this situation, because he does think that there should be documentation about this situation and that the community's opinion about this is completely right. Later on, he drew this on Paint, essentially explaining how he was in the past and how he was trying to be in 2025, basically the pros and cons of both sides of him, and essentially explaining how he wants to find a middle ground where he can both be safe for brands and also be more true to himself.
Yeah, I was gonna say, basically, like, what he's doing here is he spent all these years being at one extreme where, like, he's super safe and basically emulates the safest content creator version of himself while neglecting his truer self on the inside. And so I get that, so because like, yeah, I most people face a version of that in their lives, regardless of what career or like what stage of life they're in. It even happens in friend groups. Like, in order to fit in better, like if you're younger, like you want to pretend to be someone who would get along with your friends better, you know, and rather than like being your true self, you know. And so I guess with him like trying to get canceled in 2025, he's doing the exact other extreme of not filtering himself at all, being completely open to his truer self and not thinking ahead or not thinking twice about anything and just allowing himself to make mistakes. And while that has opened up some like flexibility in terms of how he's able to interact with the community and make jokes with the community, I've seen him use Twitter more. There's also a balance that needs to be made here. There is a balance, and that is what he's basically talking about. But this goes for anything and any skill in life. So, yeah. The way I learn things is unfortunately kind of similar. I usually start at one end of the extreme, and then I'm like, I don't like this. And then I go to the other end of the extreme because I haven't dialed in any sense of control on the spectrum. And so only after experiencing both extremes of the same spectrum for whatever it is, only then am I able to fine tune a middle ground between the two. It's unfortunate, but that I also have that issue, where that's how I end up having to learn things, you know. So yeah.
Trying to be in 2025, basically the pros and cons of both sides of him, and essentially explaining how he wants to find a middle ground where he can both be safe for brands and also be more true to himself and act like himself on streams and videos. Later on, he did actually view the Torum Ivana score that he set, actually gave a reaction to it, and also saw the leaderboards where he gapped players like Nine Potato, Lifeline, and Ivaxa. He acknowledged that the score is very impressive and that potentially Torum Ivana could be the next Eterna. And yeah, that is essentially the entire BTMC response. Now, in terms of the community feedback, they thought that this was an absolute 10 out of 10 response and a very mature response from BTMC. However, a lot of people are mad about the fact that while BTMC was doing this response, the chat was very just unreadable and unbearable. On top of that, the clip, aka the highlight.
like while he was making his apology and stuff, chat was saying things like, "No, my streamer should have doubled down. No, he's actually being mature. No." And it was hard to see.
Of the entire response,
it was just like, oh my god,
BTMC
they actually I don't know what that even means.
To dislike ratio compared to the original clip that caused this entire controversy. I think you can even tell for yourself based off of the screenshots. But yeah, that is essentially the entire BTMC response and the entire situation coming to an end. What do you think about this entire situation? Let me know down in the comment section, and also let me know your thoughts on the BTMC response as well. But before I go, I do want to address one more thing, and it's the fact that no, I am not in bad terms with BTMC. Now yes, in my previous video I did criticize him over this clip specifically, and we did have different opinions about that at first, but of course at the end of the day it's just different opinions, and you can always still be friends with someone even if you have different opinions about a certain topic. I did message BTMC about this video and about this entire situation because again, it is nothing personal that I had with him. And
yo, I just want to inform you I did drop a video in the recent situation you were in, and I did criticize you in the video a little bit. I do want to let you know that it's just criticism of your opinion and nothing else. Don't personally hate you. Oh, okay, I see.
Like he says in this DM, he also agrees. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up. If you haven't watched my previous video that is related to a 5-digit that almost set a 900 PP play, which is absolutely crazy, then be sure to click the video that is on screen right now, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
He made a pretty good apology video. The memes are over. I think that's probably why his chat was like reacting the way they did during his apology. They wanted to milk more memes out of him. I did see some of the memes that were coming out of like from his like initial reaction to that score. Yeah, they were kind of funny, but also I think this is bigger than the memes. You know, the worst part about this, I would say, is the fact that his old place of living was leaked. Did this person know that this was his old house, or did he genuinely think that this was the house, that this is the house he is currently living at? Because it's still bad, because you have to evaluate this by the person's intention. And if they intended to actually dox his current place of living, that feels like something that could get this person like under some legal some legal troubles here. Like that could be legally damning for them, potentially. It is incredibly dangerous to do something like this, not to be taken lightly, and that is absolutely insane. Like I'm just assuming that they used like a people finder service and paid money to like have that service find information on him since his full name's out there or something. Absolutely insane. Well, I'm glad the situation's kind of beginning to calm down with that. It could have gotten much worse. What the fuck is the video on the bottom right? Science-backed shortcut for massive side and front delts.